Got here, and it's time to talk about Sentence to be a Hero. And this episode had some fun character moments and character development, but also very big sort of true conspiracy that Venetim is part of it, triggered it, discovered it. Quite an interesting development that we had there. But before we get into the episode, I'm sorry if I sound weird or like I'm talking through my nose, because I'm pretty sick. I have a nasty cold and it has been kicking my ass, so I apologize if I seem dizzy, talking weird and things like that. But I still wanted to have the video out because I enjoy it and the series is quite fun. So let's get into this episode and talk about it. We have our group on this new mission. I like how Venetim, so far he hasn't really done anything majorly in this episode. There are 4 episodes in, he finally gets his episode focused on him. Throughout the last 3 episodes, he just felt like he did stuff in the background, so I'm happy we get to see him. Last episode we had Norgel stealing the show, the false king here, but this one is definitely about Venetim and this mission, and also the bigger plot, to say the least. We have them at this fortress, Murid Fortress, Wayfarer's nest here, and them gathering there. Dota is also out of the repair shop with new legs. In a way, I'm really curious how this repair shop works, because we also have Norgel being back with a pirate leg here. I hope at some point we get to see the repair shop, what exactly happens when you get resurrected. Did Dota get tortured? What did they do to him? How did the memory loss thing works, and a lot of things related to that. And I like how Norgel instantly wanted wine, asking everybody, and especially Xylo, to get him wine. And I like the moment that Xylo said, we have no more money, but later on he did have money for something more important, and I agree with what he did. They're also very curious about this hero that Xylo wants back in their unit, Tsav. We get to meet him a bit towards the end. We're gonna talk about him. He's on loan to another unit here. Of course, throughout the episode, Teorita wanted attention, and I swear, even more after the reveals here, she needs to be protected a lot more. Like last few episodes, I wanted to protect her so much, but now I want to destroy the world there to protect her. But also, I like how Venetim apparently messed with her, teaching her this Zig game. Xylo said he messed with her, similar to chess in a way. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe we get to see that game a bit more. And apparently, I was surprised that this, even Teorita, I loved her reaction. Xylo loves reading, and he loves reading poetry. And he said maybe in a different life, he would have been a poet. This Dragon Drunk by Altoyard Comete. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. He kind of dreamed of becoming a dragon, and he died trying to fly. So yeah, he's into poetry. I guess, makes sense in a way. Kind of like he seems very, very angry all the time, but this is probably his quiet time, even though he wanted to have some peace and quiet, he couldn't get it. But I also liked Kivia showing up, wanting to talk to Xylo, and of course Teorita ropes them into this festival there, the Great Exchange, with merchants and everything in that fortress. And I like the comment there when they were talking about the stands and everything. Xylo explaining to her one stand he didn't know was this ice cream, and of course Kivia knew. She had all of the information available. But yeah, I like it as much as everybody else. It's fine. I don't need one. You guys go buy for yourself. And Xylo, this is the moment he has money he didn't have for Norgel for the wine, but better use of money for Teorita. Tells her to go buy 2 of them. And of course, Teorita buys 3 of them, even for Kivia. I really like that moment. She's so pure. Teorita needs to be protected here, curious about everything here. But Kivia wanted to talk to Xylo. They finally get a moment alone. Says she kind of has a different opinion of him, kind of reevaluating after everything he did, saving people and so on, their reaction there. And in a way, he saved Teorita by forming the pact with her. Here's where you get a lot of information about the world and the goddesses. Apparently, she was discovered in the northern ruins, and there was a conflict between the military and the temple, because his incident kind of started, he was the start of a bigger chain of reactions there. They wanted the military to analyze Teorita, yes, analyze, dissect, experiment on her, but things have slowly changed since she showed she's very useful with killing the demon lords they have been doing so far. And we get a bit of lore and exposition with how these goddesses are discovered, because they're not made, at least by this current civilization. I was talking about it at the beginning of the episode. I was curious, are they the one that are making the goddesses as a weapon? Are they discovering them and so on? And here we're getting some much needed answers. The goddesses come from the first war of subjugation, which is interesting with that. They're kind of like gates of nature in a way, or gates of power. Each of them have different things. One uses poisons, one lightning, one sees the future, and things like that. Here they fight demons and they go back into slumber. So I'm still curious, from where exactly do they come? Was it a previous civilizations? Are they actually goddesses came to Earth to help the humans? Are they made by something else? I don't know, but interesting crumbs to say the least. And apparently one of the goddesses brought Tatsuya, the berserker from episodes ago, from another world. So we also have an isekai element into this series, which I'm liking. Hopefully it's well expanded with this. I'm curious about Tatsuya quite a lot here. But the conflict also, the military saw Teorita, her powers with swords, kind of useless, which is funny because you have probably one of the most offensive fighting the demon lords with this power to summon endless supply of weapons, and you see it as useless compared to the others. But yeah, here they saw her weaker than the others there. This was the moment when Teorita interrupted bringing the ice cream. So makes me think quite a lot here, and even more. We're gonna get to the biggest reveal. There's an even bigger reveal in this episode a bit later on here in this episode connected to this. But Xylo after this instantly wanted to prove that Teorita is useful to protect her. We know how much he wants to protect people, especially goddesses, with what happened with Senerva there. And he's willing to instantly accept the next mission. But this next mission is kind of fucked up. Their plan, whoever came up with this plan, for them to defend the fortress to the death. Everybody leaves, just their unit, the heroes, stay inside to the death, kind of acting like bait to drag in this demon lord, because it's really hard to kill. So they want to use the heroes as bait, but keep them inside until they die. Just stay in the fortress here till they launch this special attack with poison with one of the other goddesses here. The demon lord 15 Iblis. Kind of reminded me a bit of Nurgle from Warhammer 40k. So yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. We get to see him. But here is where kind of Venetim takes front and center for the episode. He actually asks the obvious question: why not leave after we drag the demon lord to the fortress, baiting him? No, you can't leave. You have to die. If one of you leaves, the seals on your neck kills the entire unit. And you see Xylo thinking of the temple and that priest. They want them dead here instantly. And Venetim gets some ideas. And I like him because he's kind of like the bullshit master, what we find out in this episode. Full con man, but he's really well spoken, knows how to bullshit, how to get under people's skin, how to manipulate situation and things like that. He's not really a fighter. We even saw it at the beginning of the episode. He was barely dragging his feet, just walking, let alone imagine him fighting. So I like each individual hero has their own skill. Like we see Nurgle being kind of like this engineer, Xylo the fighter there, Tatsuya the frontliner berserker that we've seen here, Dota kind of like the rogue thief in a way, even stealing things, and Venetim being like the planner, strategist, and bullshitter mainly, honestly. But I liked how his ideas are just kill all of us if one just leaves, just to prevent desertions and things like that, just kind of manipulating that commander there. And he wanted also to protect Teorita, kind of whispering a bit to Xylo and asking him, what more do you need? What more should I get? Weapons, provisions, soldiers, things like that. Can we get two others, Jace and Rhino, of the other heroes back? No, they're still on the front lines. We can't get them. Just get me more supplies. And hey, maybe a pardon. scratch that, the pardon is not possible, probably. So he gets everything except the pardon, so his speech is probably well over 100, to say the least. He was able to do all of that considering how the plan started. I'm curious how this plan was formed, by who was the mastermind behind. Not just, I mean the individual, not the organizations, because the temple and the military here. But he actually gets it, and I like how Venetim said, "Do you trust me?" And Xylos, "Nope, I don't trust you." And he's like, "I know you guys don't trust me, but I was on the verge of saving the world once." And here is where we get the big reveal, the flashback of kind of his backstory in a way, with Venetim in this dungeon being interrogated slash tried, individual trial, I don't know, kind of put into this position by a creepy dude. And I know the voice actor for Samurai, I didn't look it up, but whenever I hear that guy, he always plays roles like this, and I like it quite a lot. He had that aura about him, definitely being an evil guy here. Apparently, Venetim tried to sell the palace to a circus, and a bunch of other fraud, conmen things, quite a lot of them. They're stacking up the charges and so on. But that's fine. They're like, "Oh, that doesn't bother us, it's fine, you're not gonna get anything from that, not a death penalty, no problem, anything." I'm like, okay, where this is going? What exactly did he do that he got into this position? And apparently, he's gonna get punished for an article. And like, okay, what did he say in this article? He said he just did it to please people. That's mainly kind of like his motivation. He just doesn't like seeing people in needy positions. He likes to help people, and he's willing to go as far as possible for it. Somebody asked him, he's a people pleaser. And the article in question was like, he just made something up saying spies under the influence of blight have infiltrated, pretending to be humans, infiltrating in the temple and the royalty here. So we have actual demon spies infiltrating in the human realm. And he just happened to be correct. He didn't deduce this, he didn't figure it out or things like that. Bullshit turns out to be true. Coincidence? I think not. So like, okay, I'm liking this. And that creepy guy's like, "We can't have you telling the truth." I'm like, okay, damn. Like, the dude just stumbled upon probably the biggest conspiracy in the world that turns out to be true here. And they're scared of him, his ability to bullshit so much, basically to convince others of things. So he's very dangerous. So they're not gonna kill him. He gets sentenced to be a hero. But this got me thinking, like, if they killed him, that would have probably died with him. Or maybe not. Maybe somebody was, making him a martyr. Somebody finds that article and think, hey, the author of that article just got killed. Maybe there's something, they're snooping more. But if you make somebody like him a hero, we know the reputations of hero, nobody's going to believe them. They're saying, "Oh, you're crazy, oh, you whatever." Of course you're gonna say things like that, you're a hero, nobody believes in you. But I'm curious if he told the other heroes, and what would they believe, or he kept it to himself, realizing how dangerous this information is and who's gonna believe him without actual proof. But also this could be connected to Xylos situations. Maybe those demons got put him into that situation, killed Senerva and things like that, kind of infiltrating to destroy humanity from inside. So everything feels connected, but I'm curious how this is going to play out, because it's huge having something like this just casually be revealed like this, and just in a bullshit good way, thanks to Venetim here. So yeah, that was quite interesting to see here. Then we get to finally meet Tsav. He was gambling there, and I'm not sure if that guy that was playing against him was fully cheating, or Tsav is just crazy, because everybody was saying he's even crazier than pretty much everybody else. He cuts that guy's hand off instantly for cheating, or maybe not cheating here. So we have another lunatic on our hands. I don't think any of the heroes are normal, but this was a fun episode. We got some huge reveals here. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about it. I'm getting more and more into the series here. It seems like we have a lot of world building still to come, a lot of questions. Even though we got some answers here, they brought even more questions here. And I do hope the pacing, I'm liking that it's slowing a bit down. I don't need action non-stop all the time. We had plenty of action so far. I need to build up the tension, characters, plot points a bit more before we just get into the action. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, I'm liking the action, but I like episodes like this more because they amplify that fact, and a lot more series could learn from something like this. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the episode, what you think about the series so far. And again, I apologize for sounding so weird and maybe rambling even more. I'm very sick, so hopefully I'm gonna get over it, but it's probably gonna be a few more days. So thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Sentence to be a Hero. I'm gonna see you again in the next one. Bye bye.